Hello. I don't even know how to start this video. Um, I am starting to think that real females, real women are a very rare species. And what I mean by that is, uh, well, first of all, I'm not claiming that my channel is a truther channel. I just started this channel not too long ago, and uh, to hopefully open up at least one person's eyes to um, the world that they're living in, and hopefully bring them to want to have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. The more truth that I'm learning, the more horrified I am. Uh, when the whole agenda of, so called celebrities wanting to raise their children as like gender neutral. I don't want to point any actress or actor, I should say actor, because there really are no real females in the industry. Or there are females, but they're FTMs, female to males. Like all the so called male celebrities are women, and all the women are men. And people idolize these transgender satanic worshippers. Anyways, I don't cast judgments on anyone in general, but if you're an adult, you make your own decisions, that's fine. The thing that really, really upsets me is um, when you see the child abuse of having male babies and dressing them up as little girls, or vice versa. Uh, one so called celebrity was saying that her 7 year old or his 7 year old um, identifies um, themselves as transgender. Now, again, I find this extremely disturbing and upsetting because I have a 7 year old son myself, and at 7 years old, his main interest is playing in the dirt. He doesn't, he, um, Up until even last year, he didn't even know, um, that, uh, the difference between a male and a female. I remember, um, he wanted to go to the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom too. I'll let you go first." And he got excited and he said, "We can go pee at the same time." Like he assumed that I could stand up and go pee with him. And it's like, to him, this was last year, at 6 years old, you he was only 6. So I smiled because I loved the innocence. Like, children are innocent until they are exposed to whatever they're exposed to. I mean, saying that a 7-year old is making a choice to be transgender is, again, it's child abuse, and it really makes me ill. It makes me nauseous that, again, if you're an adult, make your that you make your own choice. That's your free will, but don't steal the innocence of a young child. Like they, it's very sickening to me. So, um, again, I don't know why. Maybe I just wanted to rant a little bit. Oh, so someone made a good point that if someone's claiming to be a truther channel, if they are not covering um, the transpocalypse, is what I guess some people name it, where if they're not covering, the whole truth, with, this big, and I actually was living under a rock. I didn't know that, um, females, so-called celebrities weren't actually females because I wasn't really paying attention. I never really idolized anyone. So I never really paid any attention. I knew that they looked different from me, and I figured, oh, well, they wear makeup and they have, you know, hair extensions and what have you. I never really paid much attention. And plus, I'm not around a lot of women and I never really compared because, I mean, um, my ethnic background supposedly is, well, I'm half Yupik Eskimo, so my features are very different than a lot of Caucasian women. I have high cheekbones. I have fuller lips, and my skin is olive. I never really thought of, like, when I see women who have, and then I don't have, if I go, I'm not sure if you can see, I don't have like a prominent, I don't have a big chin area. So when I would see women in magazines that have like really long, long necks and have like a square jaw, or deep set eyes, their eyes were like deep in their skull, like mine. They're not flush, but my face is, obviously, I never really, thought I was looking at men at all. uh so yeah, I feel like the more truth I'm coming into, the smaller and smaller my world is getting. When like everything's a lie, even all those so-called women who are news anchors, they're all men. Like, it's funny because I haven't watched TV. Um, I haven't had like a cable or dish or whatever people have nowadays for like a decade. But I walk dogs for a living, and one of my clients leaves the TV on for his dogs. I guess to put noise in the background, so if they hear any noise outside, that they don't bark. So I guess it's something to keep them relaxed. And I went to walk them one afternoon, and there were soap operas that were on, and I walk in because once you see that all those women are not really women, because women don't have Adam's apples, uh, or women don't have brow. Like, I don't have like a brow ridge. Like, my forehead is flat to my uh, anyways, it has no shape. I don't have like my brows aren't, prominent or sticking out or whatever. Um so yeah, once you notice it, and then you notice it even more as when the female is older. I thought when I was younger that I was like, wow, when women get older they look really masculine, like they look like men. And I thought it was because, as you get older your nose and your ears don't stop growing. So I thought like, when they lose the collagen in their face. But like, I don't want to be like too up close and personal. I just can't really see. But like, I'm a 42-year-old woman and I don't think I look that masculine at 42. But then I'll see these celebrities that are like my age, uh and I thought, wow, maybe it's because they wear a lot of makeup all the time or whatever. But I think it's like all the misuse of hormones and what have you. But again, uh, I just wanted to bring this out, maybe because maybe you don't know about this truth yet. And here's the thing. In the Bible, there are those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Now, if you are happy living in your sin, that you are going to be blinded to things that you just don't want to see or you don't want to accept. But if you are tired of being lied to and you feel like, there's just something, it's not right. There's something, this world doesn't make sense to you, whatever. All you want is the truth. When you come into so many truths that, we never went to the moon, and, there's all kinds of different truths. I don't want to list off, but when you really, in your heart, all you want to know is the truth, you will find it. When you actually make an effort instead of just um, doing mind numbing stuff like applications on your phone or spending too much time on your social media accounts, um, or watching Netflix, or just not looking outside yourself and taking your eyes away from your phone, you will notice these things because it's crazy. Again, even like when I look back during my school years, I don't remember a lot of the female friends that I used to have would talk about the same problems that I would have when I was younger. Like when I had my period, I think I started my period. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too personal, but I started my period when I was like, it was like 2 or 3 days. Actually, it was 3 days before my 13th birthday. It's funny how you remember that. Um, and when I was younger, I would flow so heavily, and I was always worried and scared that I was going to have an accident and leak, and how embarrassing it would be in school. And I did actually, a couple times I did have accidents where I had to tie my sweatshirt around my waist, and I was so embarrassed, and I had all these like girl issues that I never heard any of my other girlfriends talking about. And I'm not claiming that they were transgender or inverts or anything like that, but it's interesting to look back at my life with new eyes. That yeah, even a couple of my teachers, I remember a couple of my teachers were, I was like, they looked very masculine to me. They didn't have any hips, at all. And again, they had an Adam's apple, and women don't have like Adam's apple. I know sometimes, like when I'm talking and I'll have a video, I'll see like look like a shadowing or something, and I'm like, it kind of looks like, that I, had an Adam's apple. But I will notice that because I'm just like, wow, that's weird. But aside from that, what I wanted to also talk about really quick was, um, I believe that this whole uh, satanic agenda of this transgender and wanting to be rid of, what's considered a male and a female is, I think, one of the conspiracies that I have is, I think that they are um, trying to change people's DNA, where I'm not sure if it's with vaccinations or with genetically modified food or with, different prescriptions or just any number of things. The stuff that they're spraying in our atmosphere that could possibly have nanotechnology that you're inhaling and drinking and eating could possibly be changing your DNA. I think that, because here's the thing, I again, if you're an adult making your own decision and it's your free will, if you want to be um, um, gender fluid or sexually fluid, that's your choice. But I've never seen so many young people, Generation X, that are gender confused. And again, I'm not sure if it's the frequencies that are coming out of electronics that are, the MK Ultra, that it's like programming. I mean, people are programmed. I mean, you're programmed to be a consumer. You're programmed where you have depression, where your depression leads you to take prescription drugs or just do things that you like you're looking for a fulfillment for with something. But anyways, I know I'm going on a tangent and it's sort of random. I guess I wanted to do a rant that uh it's crazy that people will look at me like I'm crazy because I will say that, I follow Jesus Christ and all I want to know is the truth. And it's each day I try to, I dig some more and do research and to find the truth, because Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the light. And um, that I'm looked at like, I have issues or anything, but it's like, to think that, it's rare to be a real female is kind of crazy to me. That I'm wondering how rare it really is to be just a regular female and not an FTM or an MTF. Yeah, it's crazy how we have been convinced, what's beautiful, when, we should just be accepting of ourselves as we are, because you are beautiful just the way you are. So, with no makeup, and born in the gender that you were born with. So, any events, yeah, sorry I ranted. And I mean, if you understand me at all and resonate, that's great, because you know what? It's kind of, when I say that a rare species, it's also rare that I don't really know anyone that I resonate with, that the truth is more important to them than living in their sin. Like, I think a lot of people would rather just live in sin and live a lie than search for the truth. And to me, there's nothing more important than the truth. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope that, again, I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I don't do this for subscribers. I guess my main goal is I want to be supportive to anyone who may feel the same way. I want to maybe give someone a different perspective to maybe you want to build a relationship with Jesus Christ. Just even the idea of, if you don't believe in God, pray and ask the Lord Jesus Christ to reveal himself to you, and just take a small step of faith, or just be a part of the world. And I don't know, this new world order that they're going to push, yeah, where being normal is going to be looked at as unwanted. That it's funny how, they're pushing that somebody should accept somebody else, for their LGBT whatever. And you have free will as an adult. I don't care what other adults do, but don't push your beliefs on young children because they're vulnerable and it's child abuse. Let them be innocent. The fact that they're stealing young children's innocence, that's where I have a problem. That you are stealing, yes, their innocence. That let them be children and let them decide what they want to do when they become old enough to be able to do so. A 7-year-old, again, my son, his main goal is he wants to play in the dirt. He doesn't know whether or not, he decides to be a girl or want to be considered genderless. I think that's the most insane thing I have ever heard, ever. And again, make your own choices when you're adult, but to do that to children, again, I believe is child abuse. And I'm sure that there are many that are going to disagree with me and, show hate towards me. And I'm not hating towards anyone. I'm just, expressing my opinion of what I feel, that you should leave children alone and let them be children and not steal their innocence, because once you steal their innocence, you can't get it back. They can't get their innocence back. It's not something that you can just turn around. Let them be children. So, yeah, that's all. Sorry, it's 23 minutes, and I would be really surprised if anyone actually watches my video. Again, I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I don't do this for that. I do this because maybe somebody else, they feel the same way, and I want you to know that you are not the only one who feels like a dying species and an alien to a place that you don't even recognize. So I hope you have a good night, and God bless.